everyone. Unicorn's back after not going with them for their scary adventure. Today we're in front of the south entrance of what used to be the estate of the Colquhouns. Now, that dates back to medieval times, 12th, 13th century even, and the lands of Clan Colquhoun comprise of the estates of Colquhoun, Auchintorley and Dumbuck. And this that you can see behind me is the south entrance, which we're going to be going into very shortly. And from there, we'll tell you some more about the history of the place. So, let's go.
We've got these, what I could only presume are gatehouses here. There's one there and one over there. There's two. And obviously they're between the main gate. Oh sorry, the main gate is between them, so I would assume that's what they were for. They're blocked in. They obviously had windows at some point. Get a look at that. No door, it's open.
Let's have a look. There's no roof on it.
Is there not?
No. Couple of discarded sort of like
As if it's been boarded up as well at some point.
gate things.
I'm still sold on the gatehouse theory.
Yeah. I mean, because,
Or some sort of security station, I don't know.
There's quite a few indentations and all, which could have been for like cupboards and things. Yeah, fires, that kind of thing.
I'll tell you what, it's freezing today. I would advise going around that if I were you. Oh,
It's actually frozen.
Oh,
You're
it's frozen, it doesn't matter. Okay,
It's frozen. It's frozen, Bear. You can walk over it. You won't get muddy. Right, behind me you can see we're on the other side of what we call the gates, or the south entrance to what would have been Rossdhu House, which was part of the Colquhoun estate. It was actually their seat here. We are on the shores of Loch Lomond, not very far from Loch, and it actually came into the possession of the Colquhoun clan during the reign of Alexander II, and he received the estate from the Earl of Lennox, which is the guy that... Bear?
What?
The Earl of Lennox.
What about the Earl of Lennox?
Who was the Earl of Lennox?
The Earl of
Earl
Lennox.
of Lennox, I can't remember his name.
Where did they got all this land from him? But he was the Earl of Lennox, which was included Dumbarton and...
Was Lennox not the Earl of Lennox?
You would think Lennox would be the Earl of Lennox.
Ah, sorry. I'm a silly unicorn. His name was Malduin, Malduin. Just got it here. And they were then given the estates of Colquhoun, which this is part of, Auchintorley and Dumbuck.
Sounds like he must have been a very relentless fellow.
I'll tell you a wee bit more once we get a wee bit further into the lot.
Pardon me.
That belch.
Yak milk.
Pardon me.
You obviously saw the yak. He's good at shoving things in front of the camera and making me jokes and all the rest of it. You probably saw what that was there. And I was just thinking about you talking about the petition or some kind of campaign to try and get rid of energy drink.
That's right.
Right. The madness I think about that is it's got absolutely nothing to do with the energy drinks that's causing people to have problems and popping their clogs, shall we say.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the abuse of these drinks, but it's not just the abuse of these drinks, it's the abuse of caffeine. Because it's the caffeine that's in these drinks that cause the problem. People drinking too much.
You can do the same thing to yourself with too much coffee.
Exactly. So, it's education and the use of it. Have a can, fine. Have 2 cans in the day, fine. Have 4, might be a bit too much.
Oh no, I've just drank one.
Don't drink them all at once. Spread it out over the day. Drink a can, maybe drinking it down within about 15 minutes, half an hour.
I don't chug it either. People do that and that can happen.
I only ever have one at a time.
4 or 5 cups of coffee, don't you, at the one time?
That's right.
What, unicorn?
I was going to say, as I mentioned a wee bit earlier, the Colquhouns also became barons. They became barons of the Loch area, and that came through the son, Sir Robert of Colquhoun, married the heiress of the Lord of Luss at the time, and that was about 1368. So the area does date back quite a long way, and the Colquhoun chiefs were also appointed governors and keepers of Dumbarton Castle.
Listen, everybody. Lots of species of bird up here as well.
Look there, wee birdhouse. They put them up here on the trees so that the birds can nest in them in the winter in case they can't find one for themselves. And they leave seeds and fruits and nuts on them.
I remember you spoke about the bird boxes in
Murdoch.
Murdoch. That was one of our earlier videos.
Yes, it was.
Murdoch.
One of our...
Murdoch, yeah. One of our very early.
That was our first video.
That was one of our very first, about 18 months ago, yeah.
You were.
But I think it's an excellent idea. These are excellent because a lot of these wee birds they eat insects, and if it's really, really cold, then they'll turn to berries and seeds and spiders. And so it's a good thing that they put a wee sort of like source of food in these boxes for the wee birds, because the mortality of young birds during the first year, especially when it's cold like this, is quite high.
What temperature even is it?
It's about 1 or 2, but it feels like -3.
Feels like
because
bloody
the air
-5, never mind -3.
The air chill makes it feel a lot colder.
I'm supposed to be a cold dweller. I'm supposed to relish the cold, and I'm freezing my
Your yak hoofs off.
yes, freezing those off. Need to readjust to this climate.
Listen, I don't know, I think we've spoken to people before about the saying, you freeze the balls off a brass monkey. That's actually a naval term, and what it refers to is in the times when boats were made of wood and they had the cannons on the side, they would have racks for the cannonballs at the side, which were made of brass.
They were called monkeys.
Brass
Unicorn was with unicorns playing that. They're called monkeys, and they would shrink, and the cannonballs would fall off them in the cold.
Hence the phrase, freeze the balls off
Freeze the
a brass
balls
monkey.
off a brass monkey. Well, you should be able to see that the rain has definitely started coming down because the weather's closed down a little bit, but that's not going to put us off. Oofed! Oh well, it seems by the wonders of television I've been granted an umbrella by some sort of invisible force.
It's your rucksack, it's turned into a brolly.
Well, so it has. I've not got my rucksack now. I had my water in that. Oh well.
Ah, well, I suppose. Come on, unicorn.
I'm coming. I am here. Well, I'll show you this behind me briefly, but on the way back we'll have a much better look at it. So,
Look at what?
look at the beach and the loch. You may remember a wee bit further back down the trail we were talking about the bird boxes, and then how it's really good for the birds in the winter. And if you're really lucky, one of the wee birds that you might see up here is a robin, a European robin, which is called don't know. But it mainly eats...
Some scientific name.
It's a diurnal. It's a diurnal bird, which means it's out during the day, and it eats insects and worms. And the physical mechanism of a robin's magnetic sense involves quantum entanglement. Can you explain what that is, Jack? No? Okay.
I'm an astronomer.
Which means that because of the cryptochrome in the bird's eyes, if you look into its eyes, it looks as if they're spinning. Isn't that interesting?
Well, yes, it is interesting. The thing about quantum entanglement, I don't know a great deal about it, but if you think of photons, that's the thing that hit your eyes that give you the light. Well, photons can be entangled with each other in the sense that while one photon knows what the other photon knows, I don't know how that works with the bird's eyes, but that seems quite fascinating. I would like to do more research on that.
Oh, well, there you go then. That's what Hawking radiation materialises as with black holes. When a photon gets sucked in, the other one's left without a partner. It comes off as radiation from the black hole.
Quantum entanglement.
Interesting. Who would have thought we would have got into quantum physics on a nature walk?
Robins are apparently beacons of quantum physics now. You should see there's plenty of trails going off into the woods. In particular, during the spring and summertime, when you go up some of these trails, you'll find that there's a very, very vast, I suppose you could call it, plateau of bluebells that grow out there. It's very, very blue.
If you've ever been wondering why a lot of people look down at the ground when they're walking, is this what they're looking at?
Maybe.
Watching their own feet.
Yep.
It's starting to rain quite heavy now.
Yeah. Raleigh deployment.
Look. This could be used for a unicorn seat. Isn't that amazing? Don't have to have a bench, don't have to have a seat with you. You can just come in here, be nice and dry under there and just have a wee seat.
Ha, that's you got a wet arse now.
I haven't got a wet arse actually, it's not that damp. It's actually not that damp, it's quite dry, but yes.
Check out that old man's beard. Wonder how old it is since it's been growing for so long. You know, because it's an old man's beard.
Yeah, we did mention that in the previous video. There's not as much of it here, but you find it in all sorts of places.
Even when the weather's closed in like this, there's still such a beauty about the Loch, as you can see. You can see all the mist coming down and covering the various islands that are on the Loch. And it's even with all the trees gone of leaves, it's still an awesome sight. It's still very peaceful, very calm. But it makes me feel that way anyway. Now off to the right hand side here, there's another wee path that you can actually walk along through by the beach and stuff to get to where we're actually going, but we're taking this path here. Now, another piece of interesting history attached to the fact that the Colquhouns had their seat here is that in 1563, Mary Queen of Scots actually came and visited the Colquhouns and stayed the night and had a fish supper on the 17th of July, which included salmon, ling and trout, whatever, cooked in butter. I couldn't get that out of there. It was trout cooked in butter. So salmon, ling and trout cooked in butter.
I don't know if you've been hearing the wee bangs in the background, but it is in fact not things being dropped, it is gunshots. Assumedly there is a shooting range up here for pheasants or maybe even clay pigeons or something, I don't know. As you can see, it gets quite mucky here, particularly this time of year or in the rain. So if you come up, I suggest you bring a pair of wellies or hiking boots or literally anything waterproof that won't get stuck in the mud.
When you get this far, which is not very far, quarter of a mile from where the transition to this, the path narrows a wee bit because most people don't come up as far as this. Bye.
Bye. Better go before that guy mistakes us for pheasants or whatever.
Absolutely perfect kind of place to come to if you're wanting a bit of peace, especially if it's raining
And a bit of gunshot.
and a bit of gunshot. That's the first, well, maybe what, 2 or 3 times we've heard it over the years that we've come up this way.
Aye, something like that.
What
Here he
is
is
it,
there.
unicorn?
I was just looking at the old trees that are kind of, whether it's been lightning or whatever that struck them, or just old age, and just all the different colours and patterns you can see. You think this bit maybe being on fire because it's all blackened and the moss is growing on it again.
Oh, unicorn's got the brolly at the moment, so we'll let her walk on.
She's nearly smacked us both in the eye about 3 times separately since we gave it to her.
Easy done. So up here you get quite a lot of different kinds of birds. You get kestrels and I believe there's eagles, and you get other birds that are, you get fishing birds up here. You might even see the likes of a heron up here.
Fallen tree left over from the aftermath of Storm Bert.
Is this me with these things? Is that mushrooms that grow on the side of it?
No, it's fungi.
Fungi. Yeah, but mushrooms are fungi. But we don't know.
Okay, but they're not mushrooms.
It's not. Okay, so it's fungi.
Yeah,
It's
fungi.
Does it only dead bits that they grow on?
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen it grown on a live tree.
No, that's interesting. I don't remember seeing that one unless it's very small examples of a bigger fungus that I've seen.
No one unicorn if we weren't here should probably try and touch one of them.
I would want to, yes. There's even more of it here. Look at this part here and all the way up that one too. But and if you look at the one behind it, which is still standing, you don't really see that much on it.
Yeah.
But this stuff here has all got this orange fungi. Now, you see here, obviously, there's a gate. We think that the sounds that you hear are coming from the field in there.
We don't
But
think we know.
This is where we're going.
Is
And there's
it?
an arrow. Now, it's narrowed a good bit since we started. And this is going to get even narrower. So, as we always say, just be careful. Watch your feet, watch your head, etc.
Are we? Look at it.
We're going into it.
She's off on that.
I'm going to put this down.
What's the purpose of going through here?
I hope there's no trolls or fairies or anything like that in here that are going to jump out on us.
Why have you suddenly decided to take us on a soaking wet adventure?
It's like we've just come out of the jungles.
We have.
Phew. Duck.
Was this your plan, aye?
Well, this is the way we need to come.
How?
Because that's the only way you can go.
Aye, it's not so fun now.
That's quite big. And where are you taking us to this time, Nicola?
Aye, where are you taking us to now?
There should be a wee headland just beyond this
You got the wrong way for that.
Sorry.
wee promontory.
And it's split in the middle by a burn.
I'm just hoping that this is still the right path. Because I can't remember. There's water there. We mentioned the burn, and I think what we're standing on now seems to be the remains of the bridge that would have carriages and carts and horses and things like that would have used back in the late 18th century. We're not going any further beyond this point, but the work's not finished. Beyond this is the grounds of the Rossdhu estate. Now, I mentioned the castle at the very beginning. The castle was actually burned and replaced by Rossdhu House circa 1773, which was a Georgian mansion built to replace it. Rossdhu itself is derived from the Scottish Gaelic Rossdhu, which means black headland. You've worked on the estate when the golf course was proposed in the 1980s, Bear.
I used to drive a Bowser and I would go around and fill up all the plant at night after everybody had finished. And that was a bit of overtime for me. I used to enjoy driving a tractor and taking various materials to different places on the site as they were building it. And it was very interesting the way they built it. I used to use these big plastic sheets, huge big plastic sheets with holes in it, and they'd put this across all the peat. And what they'd do then is they would then put lots and lots of earth all over the peat, and then they'd put another layer and then more earth to build this all up. And then as the time went on, when it was ready to be sculpted, a chap from Texas used to come out and he'd jump into his little bulldozer that had an amazing amount of dials and stuff on it. And this told him what his pitch was and all the rest of it. And he sculpted out all the bunkers for playing golf. And I do remember Tom Weiskopf had something to do with this as well. I won't tell you much more. And unfortunately, we can't go into let you see because it's private and it's very, very exclusive. So sorry about that. Right, on the way up there, this is the path, little path to the right, just before the burn. And we're sure, if memory serves correct, that this is how you get down to that little promontory. It might be underwater, but we'll see. I don't know what kind of state this is going to be in.
As bad as it normally is in the summer, except worse.
So, we're trying to find a bit of a path.
Big example there.
There you go, honey.
There you go.
Yeah. Good one.
Would you like a bit?
No. There's another one on the side. There's another one. There's another one on the side there. There's another one there. Another one there. And again, there's a dead tree.
So this needs way of cleaning up the hut. found it.
Yes, we did, eventually, after taking the wrong turn or two, which is the unicorn speciality, but we're here. Ah,
The gentle sound of the waves.
yeah.
I think we've got somebody out walking their dogs and
Having a swim. Or well, not the people, the dogs are having a swim.
the thing about this promontory, in case you don't already realise, we are actually on the west coast of Loch Lomond, and as far as the promontory goes, you can see a lot of it's waterlogged and some of it's just below the water. Because the water is quite high now as we're getting into late autumn, early winter.
It's usually bigger than this.
Yeah, it's usually bigger.
Yeah, it goes out it actually goes out quite a bit, doesn't it?
In the summer, in the spring and the summer, it goes out, I would say it probably goes out to, you see the kind of white kind of area, you can see the water there, with the reflection from it goes out. It goes out just, in fact it goes out a bit, another,
20
100
feet.
yards or so.
Good job. Quite a distance, I can't remember, but yes, it does go out. Oh, you can hear the dogs now. You probably won't see them, they're quite far off in the distance. I think that's Inchkyle, but not 100% sure. The hills behind there are probably Whinny Hill, which is up behind Ballast Park. That kind of area. There's something else up there, I can't remember what you call the place. Don't have a clue what that island is. Or that one, and you might see dead centre off in the distance right now, Conic Hill.
Now we're going to turn around now and we're going to head back along the beach trail, so let's go and see what we can see for there.
If you're coming through these sorts of trails and you're not used to it, I suggest you touch up on your head movement because there's lots of branches to get caught in your eyeballs, and also it's a bit treacherous trying to step over things all the time, so just be careful.
Well, we're through the worst of that now.
Uh-huh.
So, an easy trail from here on in. Not that it was hard, but it's just
It's just underfoot sometimes, you need to be careful because there's roots and things that you're looking up at something and not looking down and you could trip or bump your head, so
there's
be careful.
one particular branch back there where it's flying over the trail. If you're somewhere between 5'11" and 6'7" or taller, I hope you're good at limbo.
Or you could just roll under it.
Like that. A bit wet, but
Not literally roll. One of them.
this is inland. So we waterlogged bit. Hopefully we don't have to cross it.
Yeah, I think we're going to have.
Yeah, we do have to cross it.
Get it when we get the rucksack.
Don't have any.
Look like the Everglades.
It's about the only reason I go to Florida.
section that I showed you that you can walk along the beach. We're going to end our video here today and go back onto the main path, so I hope you enjoyed walking with us. And this is a unicorn saying happy rainbows. See you in the next video. Are you guys not going to say anything?
See you next time, people.